So you can't even use Google?
We
to
use
search?
Hong
use
Kong.
it
You can, but
There's different
sometimes it
countries.
works.
Like
Sometimes you have to switch between countries to get the right Google.
It gets blocked once every 10, 20 minutes. Gets pretty annoying.
So if you want to Google how many stars in the sky, you have to go through a proxy to get into
No,
Google?
not
No,
sometimes.
you just have to wait. And
It's
then-
not the classic Google. It's like the one from Hong Kong.
So you just type in the address and...
Instead of
So you
.com
get-
slash
you get-
HK. So
You get different search results,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
Oh,
They
like if
filter
you
the
did
search and-
1998 or whenever Tiananmen Square was.
you'll get totally different pictures. If you search China on Google .hk, you'll get like pictures of flowers and parades. If you search China on like the American Google, you'll get pictures of Tiananmen Square and large cities and apartment blocks. So it's kind of funny.
What are you noticing in terms of male-female roles? Do you think that the whole issues of the feminist movement, the women's movement are passé, they've been resolved, or do you think there's still issues of sexism and inequality between boys and girls, men and women? You want to take that
Not
one?
in cities, but in less
some
educated places, there are a lot of sexist people.
As in, what's an example of sexism in rural areas?
Like, people just dump their daughters and try to get a son.
Do you think that still happens, female
Yeah,
infanticide?
it still happens.
Yeah.
That's what happened like a movie.
Yeah.
They don't kill them anymore, they just they drop them
Yeah.
off someplace.
Yeah.
You know, I read, in India I read that they have like drop boxes where you can drop your female baby off.
What?
So that they have a safe place so
Sure.
that the baby girl won't be killed. Here's your drop box for the baby girl here. It's kind of sad. What about a girl taking that question? Sexism alive, sexism a thing of the past? What do you feel as girls?
Still in some parts. Like, yeah.
What about you personally?
I'm not really sexist because, like, I think, like, yeah, I think people in our school, they're not that sexist.
So girls speak as much in class as the boys?
Yeah. It depends on you.
Also depends on the class.
Yeah.
Because no one speaks at all.
Why not?
Well, I mean, or no one really wants to talk.
Because it's boring?
Shy.
Not necessarily because it's boring, just because no one really wants to talk. It's all about staying under the radar. Because if you talk, you're open to criticism, and that's
From peers or the teacher?
Peers.
Both.
peers mostly. I'm saying mostly because we have Mr. Putin.
Mr. Classic.
Yeah.
What was that?
Never mind.
So, are you hopeful for the future despite global warming and increasing inequality and ongoing wars, or do you think your generation will make a difference? Why?
Because I feel it now, the generation, like our age, we don't really have respect for anything. And I feel that when we grow up, we won't really find respect for anything. And I think we're not really going to care about the earth unless people really point out something that needs to change or else we'll die or something.
Tell me more about the lack of respect. Where does that come from? And can you give me an example?
Because nowadays people are more rich. They probably can buy more, I don't know, more expensive things. And their parents sometimes don't really treat them, they treat them like their friends. And maybe their families grew up in rich cities and their parents didn't really teach them well. And they didn't, I don't know. It's like sometimes technology changes us, as in sometimes you see us texting or using our laptops everywhere, and we wouldn't open doors for people anymore because and stuff to.
What, I don't get the connection between technology and respect for other people.
Sometimes technology distracts us, and then we just kind of ignore the things around us, and we just look down and text or play something on our, like, yeah.
Do you agree with that? That having access to texting and cell phone and all that, it keeps people self-focused and less respectful? That's kind of an interesting thought.
I'm sorry I keep talking so much, but I'd say, in my opinion, not really, because, I mean, with technology, we have access to so much information that a lot of people, I mean, there are some cases where it's distracting, but for a lot of people, it raises world awareness, because you can look at you know, the whole world, news from all over the world, and even on some things get updates in real time of just news events or things that are happening, and you can research whatever you want. It's like it depends on, it's a tool really, it just depends on who's using it.
Let's just do a little vote. How many people think your generation is less respectful, more self-centered than previous generations?
Sort of. Maybe.
Like different.
Sometimes and sometimes not.
Okay, do you want to elaborate on that?
Like, talking about technology again, like people on Skype and like texting, they like insult people more often, but like kind of as a joke.
And you can't get Facebook, huh?
Oh, no.
It doesn't work at school.
But
Unless you pay for it.
No,
We can use other.
They're so slow.
Some probably get
Yeah, they log me.
a lot of people
Log me off.
Okay, so what we're kind of debating whether your generation is different, if so, how, maybe we could just go around. And so do you think your generation is different than your parents? If so, how? Start with you.
I think we are different from our parents because, yeah, it's basically because technology and, yeah, it changes how we think.
It makes you more globally connected?
Yeah, but then we don't go out as much. We stay home and like go on computer and stuff instead of hanging out.
So it makes you less social.
Yeah.
We can be social.
via Skype or something.
Yeah, but you can't be social face to face. It's not the same exactly.
You
Because
feel like more
online,
easy.
online you can like say things you don't really dare to say face to face because they can't see you or anything.
So is cyberbullying a problem?
No.
not really.
Just being insulted but not bullied?
Yes.
Well, not here, not really, because in other places I wouldn't really know. I mean, here we don't really have bullies. We just keep things to ourselves and between our friends.
Okay, why don't you take the part, is your generation different or not?
I guess it's kind of different because, well, we have access to so much information. Like, you can type in anything on any search website and you get like 1,000 websites with answers. But like my parents, they tell me often like if they wanted to find some information for homework, they have to go to like the nearest library, and that only had like a limited section of like what they wanted. And well, we're also different because we have so much technology. Like if I wanted to talk to someone, I could just call them and not have to go over to their house. Which is, well, we can be more connected like through technology, but like Michaela said, not like face to face.
So it's a virtual connection. It's interesting. Thanks.
I think our generation is like a bit different, is because of the technology. Some people like have more chance of getting obese. Yeah, like my cousin, he's like kind of a nerd, and he's like really heavy. He's like 90 kg.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's your age?
No, he's 10th grade.
That's a good point. It really does affect people's health to sit so much.
Never seen him run.
He waddles.
Yeah, I think like we have some problem with having too much information online that we don't need. Like sometimes we can just search up a random thing, type it into like Google, and you get some stuff that you usually don't want to see.
Naughty stuff.
My parents always compare me to them.
Oh my.
How lucky I am, because they were in poverty, didn't have enough rice to eat. So, for example, my dad, he was very poor. He worked really hard for school, and got a scholarship. And he paid his own money for his own school. And the only thing he ate was flour. So,
Just like flour and water.
yeah, noodle. So that can be really critical to your health. And now he says I'm lucky because we get all the good technologies and really easy to access to informations and a lot of entertainments. Because when he was young, he had to play with stones and natural resources.
So do you agree with him, or do you not agree with him?
And I think he should compare me to him because we're in a different generation.
And do you have hope that your generation will make a difference? Because?
The way he tells me, just
Okay, thanks. Ernest,
Yeah.
is your generation different, same, will they make a difference?
It's different because we have more freedom than like, and I think my parents had more freedom than me because they had to like walk like a kilometer just to get to school and back. And they would think it was like an honor to get in the car and travel.
Oh yeah.
And I think this generation can make a difference in the world because so much more, I don't know how to say it, technology, options, privileges available to us that weren't available to my parents.
Did they grow up in India?
Yeah.
And then how did they end up here in Shanghai?
My dad, he grew up a farmer, then he got a scholarship into Indian engineering college, and then after that he got a job at some tire company based in the US, and then he moved around a few jobs, and then he landed at SanDisk, and then found my mom, and came
Lived
here.
happily ever after. So you two have kind of similar stories of fathers who worked their ways up by their bootstraps. So does that put pressure on you to do the same kind of leap or not?
Not really.
You kind of take it for granted what you have?
No, like, they make me, like, really earn it. Like, it took me 3 years to get a single phone. Like, I have to, like, for example, one piece of clothing, like, you know, in India, they don't have that kind of stuff. They can just, you wear it out and you can just go to the market and go buy another one. Like, they, like, examine it, if it's, like, if you can support it or not, then they just take us off to the market. Like, the high quality ones, like, you don't have to buy it for a long time.
So they still have those values of frugality.
Yeah, they're just not, like, spend, they're just, like, conserve and spend smartly.
It's really going to be interesting to see what happens when you get money at your disposal, whether you'll, which way you'll go. If you think you'll be a spender or a saver.
Saver.
I'm going to continue the tradition. Okay, thanks.
Excuse me. Sorry, we have to stop for another class.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But maybe you could find another room. It's advisory.